Welcome back to Final Fantasy X, everybody. Um, we're not live. That was a lie. That was, to be fair to myself, I did say that I would try to do it live, or at least like as I'm recording the gameplay footage. It turns out, and I found that out in this very episode, that doesn't really work for me. Especially for this series, because there are a lot of lengthy boss fights that I'm gonna shorten, and I don't really want to. I don't want to do them in like the normal amount of time, I guess. I don't want to have to commentate over, like, I think one of them literally takes like 30 minutes long if you're under leveled, which I am still, and will be for most of this playthrough. So I recorded all the gameplay now, and we're just gonna go through it and talk about it. The plan for this episode, generally speaking, is to get our Aeons all up to overdrive, or at least close to it, because we got some boss fights coming up. We're actually going to do a boss fight in this episode. This is why I found out pretty early on that I couldn't do it live. I actually did record some of it live, and then was like, well, do I really want to wait through this whole boss fight? So I went back. This is the second attempt, so to speak, of this recording, because that fight sucks. That fight really, it's literally just mashing X after you've got it set up. Like, there is literally no thought, because you cannot lose it after you get it set up properly. And the setup, and I know this is going to shock you, is one move and you've won the fight. So what that means is it's really, really, really boring. It's boring to watch, it's boring to play. It is among the worst fights in the game if you know how to do it. Easiest fight in the game because you literally can't lose, but it is very time consuming. He has a lot of health. We are very under leveled. As such, we don't do a lot of damage. If I remember right, when I do it, we're gonna do it with Lulu. So it's not just mashing X, because she does more damage than a lot of people with her magic, as opposed to like Auron just mashing X, although I think we use Auron as well. I can't remember what I used. It's now been a few days. Anyway, the point is, for the rest of this series at least, it's not going to be live. I'm going to take my double the amount of time to actually do the thing, and we're gonna do it recorded. So that's the plan for this episode. That's the plan for the series. I've now finished, like I've said, I've finished recording. I finished editing the actual video footage of it. It's gonna be about 72, 73 episodes, depending on if I split the finale. I haven't decided that yet. I've got it split right now. It'll be 73, but if I decide to merge it, then it'll be 72. So it's a long one, but not as long as it could have been. So we'll pull back the curtain the whole time, because we're doing nothing in the game right now. We're just killing fiends with Aeons. I did a lot of grinding, and by a lot of grinding I mean not a lot of actual grinding in the game, but just playtime wise, setting things up, getting items to customize gear, and doing the celestial weapons. I wasn't going to, and I didn't do it on camera. I did part of it on camera, but not actually acquiring the items, because the minigames are not fun to watch and would be even worse to commentate over, I believe anyway. But getting certain gear items, like getting all the chocobo wings, I think, for auto haste, for instance, that is something that I did. That one's actually pretty easy. I think for that one you just bribe one of the Omega Ruins dudes a lot of money,
Please.
and he just gives them to you. Pretty sure that was that one. But basically, once we get the airship, which we will, spoiler alert, be getting the airship, like for realsies. Once we get that, we are going to be able to do whatever we want in the game. Basically, it's not the post game, but it's like right before the end of the game, and it allows you, it's free roaming essentially of all the places you've been, and a couple of new places. So we do that, and the thing to our right now, that little green dot on the minimap, is actually the monster catching area, which I think I incorrectly said was DLC, or not DLC, international content. Pretty sure it's not. I think I'm just wrong there. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, once we get that airship, I spent a lot of time getting all the celestial weapons and then playing a lot of Blitzball just because I like Blitzball, and grinding for items to customize armor, which means that once we get the airship and we're basically ready to get to the end game, essentially, it's going to get significantly easier. There are a couple of hard bosses coming up in the next 10 episodes or so, probably. They're actually difficult, and I'm going to struggle with them quite a bit. Just because, one, underleveled, and two, I don't remember the strats for all of them. I'm not playing it blind because I know kind of what they're doing, but like there are rotations of attacks they do that I just don't remember. For instance, like cycles, I guess. So that's fine. It'll be what it is. But once we get that, the game goes a lot easier because, I mean, it's an RPG. You can grind however you want. I didn't actually do a lot of level grinding. Like, we got some levels. We got just past the end of the natural, quote-unquote, sphere grid, which is where you can beat the game pretty easily at that point if you know what you're doing. But it got to be a grind just doing the game normally, so that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make this super easy for recording so it goes a lot quicker. And I think you'll appreciate just seeing me wipe the floor with people, I hope. Like, we still don't do a ton of damage normally, even by endgame. Like, I don't even think we get to double the health we have right now. I don't think we do. We maybe do double damage, but I don't even know if it's that much. Like, stuff does get bigger. Okay, we do more than double damage, but that's a long ways off. We don't do double damage from the point that I started the grinding to the point that I end the grinding, I guess is the better way to put it. The actual level grinding was kind of incidental to getting the things that you need to get. Like, you have to capture a lot of monsters to get the items that I wanted. But the point is, we're gonna make it a lot easier. And the celestial weapons help a lot. They're not the best that you can get. You can actually make better items than the celestial weapons, just in terms of what they can and can't do. But they're gonna be good enough. They're definitely gonna be good enough. Don't worry. We're gonna get Yuna's actually gonna become our best damage dealer, believe it or not. I know that seems really hard to believe right now, considering she does like 10 damage per attack, but trust me, she will become the best one. And I think there's a couple of enemies late game that are weak to her specifically, so it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. This is episode 40 something, I think. I've lost count. So we've got quite a few more to do, like 25 or so. So strap in, it'll be fun, I hope. If it's not fun, then, I mean, you're not watching anyway. Nobody's watching this at this point. This is for me. This is a me thing.
No time to waste. Let's go.
The other reason that I couldn't do it live, or at least in hindsight wouldn't have wanted to do it live, is that the Steam version of Final Fantasy X Remastered, when you're recording it, will occasionally go to a completely green screen during some of the good-looking cutscenes. There's apparently a point in the game that triggers this, and then any cutscene that's mixed, as in like it switches back and forth between the good graphics and the in-game graphics,
Halt.
has a chance to trigger just a pure green screen. It's like a lime green's too strong, or too. It's neon green. It's that kind of green. Like people, like actual green screen. Like people would use a green screen to put footage over it. So that happened a few times for me. And I couldn't find a good solution to it. I looked online. There are a couple of solutions. You can make your graphics card go maximum performance mode, which I did. You can go directly to the executable file and go run as administrator, which I also did. and it still happened a couple of times. So that would have been really annoying to do live. I was able to get the footage again and just edit it over in post. So you're not going to miss anything. Don't worry. You're not even going to notice that. I think there's just one graphical glitch we'll see for the whole thing, if I remember right. So as you can see, I sped up the footage already for this. This boss has an incredibly simple weakness. You'll see there I just provoked him with Tidus. This will be the only enemy in the entire game that you'll see that I need to provoke. There are like palette swaps of this dude we'll find later on, that the same strategy applies. But essentially, if you provoke him, he will only attack the person who provoked him, which Tidus is the only one who has that ability, and he will only use Blast Punch. Now, Blast Punch does half your health rounded down, so it cannot kill you. Once you're at 1 health, it will round down to 0. So Tidus is at 4 health right now, down to 2, soon down to 1, and at 1, he will no longer be hurt by Blast Punch. As such, all we have to do, again, I have Lulu out just because she does more damage, but essentially all you have to do is spam attack, and you win, which is what we're now doing. We hasted Kimahri just to make sure he gets to move more often, and we're just gonna wail on this boss a bunch. We're gonna use Tidus' overdrive every now and then, because in order to unlock his better overdrives, you have to actually use his overdrive. So I think it's 80 to unlock the final one. You have to use an overdrive from Tidus 80 times. So that's where we're at with that. This is the boss that I was like, okay, we can't do this live. This boss, this takes, I think I sped it to either 2 or 3 times speed at this point. It just takes so long, and it's so boring, and I was bored just playing it. Especially because I know the strategy. There we go, we got him. Like, it's not that long a fight, but it's pretty long. It's pretty boring. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to be doing. We got so many episodes to go, and hopefully you'll be there.